the code, scheduling and dispatch code. Scheduling and dispatch code is also an important and rather complicated part. You may need to read it through not only once but twice. Important is here the definition used in that part of the code. In addition, what we also know, what is stated here on that slide, definition in terms of the days and other like the schedules and dispatch instructions. Why is there a schedule and dispatch code? It's there to avoid over and under production of desalinated water. So the schedule and dispatch code sets the rules to have the basis to balance production, transmission, and demand or supply to the distributors. And the code defines in detail which data needs to be exchanged and how also unplanned events shall be treated. The scheduling and dispatch code applies in the first instance, of course, to the transmission system operator and the desalinated water producers. The water distribution system operators contribute in that respect by providing data of their demand at the connection points. And that's why this code also applies to the distributors. It sets out the responsibilities of the transmission system operator and the users. It sets out the requirements for setting up the transmission system operator's load dispatch center function. This is also a defined term there. And the procedures for day-to-day business and activities in terms of or in relation to production and delivery schedule. The load dispatch center is the key function for the purpose of this code. The TSO shall act as a load dispatcher, shall carry out this function. The communication and coordination between the user and the TSO is all the responsibility of the TSO. He shall set up a system, he shall establish and maintain appropriate dispatching tools and communication devices, shall inform the users about the format and communication protocols. 4. Availability declaration notice, demand notice, production delivery schedule, and dispatch instructions. This is a very important task the TSO has to accept and has to take. And there's a lot of information going back and forth. Such information refers to different days, which are also defined in the code. Such data and information on a day-by-day activity is, for instance, availability of each seawater desalination plant and its unit, the operating characteristic of each plant, the water distribution system operator's demand forecast, the cost of production of desalinated water and the transmission of it, environmental restrictions due to cogeneration and electricity supply, fuel supply restrictions, and constraints and capabilities of the transmission system and the distribution system at the interface in relation to pumps and storages. We are talking about a dispatch day and a schedule day. The dispatch day is the day following today from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. after 24 hours. Dispatch day. the scheduled day is the day after the dispatch day. And reading through the code, you see that some information has to be provided for the dispatch day or for the scheduled day, which refers to different periods of 24 hours succeeding each other. The availability declaration is an action which the desalinated water plant operator, producer, has to submit to the TSO. So for each seawater desalination unit of a plant at 7 in the morning on each day, such a declaration for each hour of the whole scheduled day has to be provided. Today, as a desalinated water plant producer, I have to provide my declaration for availability, not for tomorrow, but for the day after tomorrow, which is the scheduled day. And such availability declaration contains information in relation to the availability, available capacity, and the conditions of the unit at such scheduled day, whether it's cold or depressurized or in warm condition or any other condition status which is required to be informed. The availability declaration shall also contain changes of operating characteristics if they are applicable for such a scheduled day. And then, of course, any other restrictions on operation in relation to environmental limits or energy supply restrictions. It needs to be considered that any plant-connected consumers, any capacity or flow of water volume to plant-connected consumers needs to be subtracted. Otherwise, the TSO would think that such plant, which provides water to the transmission system and plant connected consumers, would have more capacity available than it actually has. When a user does not completely fill in such an availability declaration or forgets to submit availability declaration, the TSO shall take the missing data from the notification provided the day before. The timeline is very compressed. We're talking here about hours and minutes and not days, so that when there is any missing information, there's simply no time that the TSO will call up each of his users connected to his system and ask for the provision of such data. The TSO, in turn, when he gets such a declaration, will confirm that he has received it after 30 minutes at the latest. This gives the user the security that, yes, I have submitted my declaration and the TSO has received it. It's not lost in the system somewhere. This provides this security to the user. The water distribution system operator will provide the demand notice at the same time, 7 p.m. each day, for the same period, the scheduled day after the dispatch day. And this demand forecast or notice contains hourly average volume flow of desalinated water, which is required by the distribution system operator, and the hourly peak volume. Here as well, the TSO shall confirm receipt of data, and in case the distributor is not providing the TSO with such information, the TSO shall take the information from day before. Based on the information received at 7 a.m. from the plants and the distributors, the TSO compile a production and delivery schedule for the schedule day. This is basically an advance notice based on the availability declaration, and it contains, or it's based on the 1 year operational plan, the schedule of the current dispatch day, demand notices, and of course the availability declarations. These schedules must be provided and distributed to each user at 9 a.m. each day.
Normally our report is 00. I mean, it will be
Come on.
our reporting.
The reporting on a monthly basis is from 0 to 0,
yes,
right? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, at the end, the month goes for whatever, 28.
Daily also 00. I mean, the day.
Yeah, but to whom you report, your internal system.
Yeah.
Yeah. The code defines the dates from 6 to 6. This has been decided when we prepared the code within the committee. It gives you, say, some more room in terms of hours when you prepare the dispatch instructions and when you accept the dispatch instructions on a schedule day. Maybe we run through this presentation and then come to this point again.
Schedule day. Schedule day.
Yes?
Start from the next day.
6 to 6. Yes.
Of the okay. First we have this
Dispatch day.
dispatch day.
This is from tomorrow 6 to 6, the day after tomorrow, and then the schedule day starts from the day after tomorrow for 24-hour basis. Right. The dispatch instructions shall be provided by the transmission system operator for the dispatch day, which is the day tomorrow from 6 to 6. And these dispatch instructions include all these desalination units which are connected to the transmission system. The dispatch instruction shall be issued also at 9 a.m. of each working day or of each day, comprising the hourly requested production volume of each unit and the start time and end time production capacity of such production period. The receipt of dispatch instructions must be formally confirmed by each desalinated water producers, and the desalinated water producers shall also inform whether they accept or not accept the dispatch instructions. The dispatch instructions are based on the scheduling and availability declarations. However, if there is an event at the plants which does not allow to follow the dispatch instructions, for instance, an unplanned outage of an equipment or a unit, and which then simply does not allow to follow the instructions, if the TSO wants to dispatch such a unit, the desalinated water producer needs to explain, look, I have an incident or I have an event where I cannot use that unit, so I cannot accept your instructions. This non-acceptance with the reasons must be communicated quickly and within 1 hour, basically, after the instructions have been received. As said, reasons for such non-acceptance could be preventing harm to personnel or facility, mitigation, of mitigating environmental impacts, or an operation outside of declared operational characteristics. When dispatch instructions have been received by cogeneration plant operators, which are also cogeneration plants where the desalination units are supplied and connected to a power station, then these instructions shall be forwarded by the desalinated water producers to the low dispatch center of the electricity sector. Why is that? This gives the low dispatcher for electricity the basis to dispatch a cogeneration plant also on the optimized cost, in order to avoid that steam gets to be dumped in the dump condenser, or that basically the steam is not utilized in the steam turbine, in order to provide the basis to dispatch cogeneration plants in the most optimum operation mode on the basis of the water dispatch. Unforeseen events cover interruption of electricity supply, or unplanned outage of a generation unit, or any other emergency situation. And in case of such an unforeseen event, which may occur at a desalination plant or unit, the user must inform the transmission system operator immediately, or the transmission system operator must inform the distribution operator immediately and without delay. This graph shall provide you with an overview of the activities in relation to scheduling and dispatch. So this is the time of today. By 6 a.m. of each day, the production starts with the production of water according to the dispatch instruction received earlier, and the transmission system operator transmits the water to the distributor. Today by 9 a.m. the dispatch instructions for the dispatch day will be sent from the transmission system operator to the desalinated water producers, and based on a consumption update which the TSO receives from the distributor. By 7 a.m. of each day, the availability declaration will be provided from the production unit, desalinated water producers, to the TSO, and the demand profile for the scheduled day will be provided from the distributor to the transmission system operator. It's just showing you how the actions and informations are interlinked to each other on these three functions of the system. In summary, what is certainly very clear after this presentation is that the transmission system operator plays a very central role. He has to fulfill the function of a low dispatcher. We saw the scheduled day starts at 6 a.m. Demand profiles and production data shall be provided to the TSO at 7 a.m. each day. The scheduling for the upcoming scheduled day will be provided by the TSO to the users at 9 a.m. and the dispatch instructions will be provided for the next dispatch day also at 9 a.m. from the TSO.